Hello everybody and welcome to Clydebridge Station and to another modelling idea video. The original plan for this video was to look at the modelling idea of Stranraer, but I've changed that because having had another look at Stranraer, whilst it's a good modelling idea, it's really changed a lot in the last few years, and I feel I could get you something that could be a little bit more of a interesting. That's no disrespect to Stranraer, but I'd need to have another look at it, and I will do Stranraer another time. So instead of heading to the Solway coast in Stranraer, I'm going to stay on the coast because we're heading from the southeast of England to the northwest of England. The southeast of England, of course, being where we had the Hotfield idea, and the modelling idea this time is on the Cumbrian coastline, and we're going to Maryport, a town of about 10,000 people, and it's on the Carlisle to Barrow via Whitehaven and Workington line, the Cumbrian coastline. There's an added bonus here with this layout, with this modelling idea, because there's a website called Railcam, linked to that in the description below. And Railcam has numerous cameras all over Britain, and these cameras are available for you to view either free of charge for a limited number of cameras, or the rest of them, including Maryport, are what are called supporter cameras, and you have to pay a subscription every year. And Maryport is one of those cameras. So if you wish to pay an annual subscription to Railcam, you'll be able to see that and all the cameras basically on Railcam. I won't tell you the price of it because that can fluctuate depending upon the time that this video goes out. So the link to that is in the description below, Railcam. The town of Maryport on the Cumbrian coastline has been served by the railway for many years, and the layout at the station is very unusual. There is one platform on the station, but there are more than 2 running lines, because we have 3 running lines and a siding. The station is located, the platform is located on the downside of the station, and opposite that is what you would effectively call the passing loop, but it's really the upline, and then in the middle of all of that is a signal box, and then there's another passing loop beyond that. Freight traffic uses both passing loops. Passenger trains in both directions have to come into that one platform, so basically up trains, i.e. towards Whitehaven, have to cross lines to be able to access the platform. The station is unstaffed, and it also includes an engineer's siding. Street view is actually quite a good thing to use when looking at Maryport, and we'll actually have a look at that in a minute. We'll get the laptop up and we'll show you a street view image of the general area of where the station is. The station area includes a fire station for the town just nearby, and there's also Maryport Rugby League Club, and just down from that are some industrial or retail units, one of which hosts the Railcam. There's also a bus stop just nearby as well. So it presents quite a good modelling idea, and if you have a back scene with a town on the horizon, that would be quite a good back scene to have, because the Railcam actually shows the background with the town behind. There's various ways you can model Maryport, and before we look at the street view image, just to tell you about some of the things that you can get. A fire station could be actually purchased from Scale Model Scenery or Metcalfe's, and I think Bachman do one as well. So modern fire station building, you can get them easily. It would probably be necessary to scratch build the office accommodation or retail accommodation that sits further along the road from where the station access is. Signal boxes, well, they're widely available signal boxes and prices are keen, so I'm not going to say that's who makes them, because you'll find that everybody makes them basically, so it's well worth having a look around to see what there is. In addition, if you're going to create a rugby league ground, you'll need to obviously get grass down. I think static grass would be sufficient, or some sort of synthetic style turf that you could put down to make the rugby league club. For pitch markings, I would recommend checking out the Rugby Football League website to understand the rules of the games and the pitch markings, or I'm pretty sure if you contacted the RFL they would be able to help you out with that as well. It'll probably be necessary to scratch build covered stands and pavilions for the Rugby League club if you're going to go further up that way. Now, before we go and discuss the rolling stock that you'll need for this, I do want to just let you bear in mind that I'm talking about modelling this in the sectorisation period. We're going to check out the street view image of the general area of Maryport so you can get a look at it. This is the entrance here to Maryport railway station here. Unfortunately, the Google Street View card didn't go up to it. But I'm sure if you put Maryport railway station into your internet search engine, you would get some photos of it. But I can just show you there it is there. And that's the road leading up to the station platform, just visible there, the signal box outside behind these houses. This is Maryport Road that we're on here in Maryport. The fire station is just here. And that's the fire station there. So it gives you an idea there with the tower. And Bleed Scale Model Scenery makes a fire station with a tower, so that would be quite useful for you there. And I say you can look on Google Street View, it's Maryport Road. And we're heading along here, further along, and this is actually Maryport Rugby League Club. Just take you further along there, and that's the entrance there. Gives you an idea. These views are from July 2022, by the way. We'll head back up Maryport Road. The railway's actually hidden now behind that wall in some bushes. And there's a car park for the rugby club. Don't think that's the station car park. But if we head back up Maryport Road, this is probably how you would want to view it. I'd have the railway and these buildings in front of your road. So you've got your images, your back scene behind you. We've got here a little car repair business and some houses there. You can see some ways of ground there. Another car wash centre there. Let's ignore that whole thing. And this is a row of business units here, which includes the one that hosts it. Hosts the rail cam, and you can just see there, if I just bring it a halt there, you can see the backs of them there. So I think you'd probably have to scratch build those. One thing you wouldn't have to scratch build is the signal box. There's a little view of it there, and you can just see there, you can just see on there a power cabinet and a signal there. This chain link fencing that you see there is very similar to the chain link fencing you'll see me building in the May 2023 update for the garden centre of B&Q, by the way. That's from Scale Model Scenery, so that very easy to get. Street lights, they can be easily purchased. SMS do road markings and they do drains in that as well. And just, as I say, if we just carry on back further down, stone walls, I'm pretty sure they could be scratch built. You don't necessarily need to go for the same design of houses as you see here. You can make your own design of houses if you so wish, or use an off-the-shelf type model. And there we also have the sign that's hidden to say station just there, and you can see road signs as well. And there we go, and that's us back at the station entrance again with the information boards. Now back in the day, these would just been in the real alphabet, black on white, and from 1991 when it became rebranded, October 1990 when it got rebranded as Regional Railways, it would have had the Fleximat device and a dark blue band along the bottom, but still in the real alphabet sign. So that's what it looks like on Street View at Maryport Railway Station. Maryport Road, if you put that in, and you'll find it no problem. So that's a street view image of Maryport. So that gives you ideas of what you can do and need. You might need a little bit of artistic license as well. Rolling stock. If you're modelling in this sort of era now from the 2020s, now rolling stock you'll need is Class 156 Super Sprinter units in Northern livery, DRS Class 68s on the nuclear flask traffic. Back in the day, when it was British Rail and sectorisation period, the main units that would have been used on the Cumbrian coastline would have likely been the Class 108 first generation DMUs and possibly the Class 110s. These would have been in two-car form, twin units in other words. And they would run in two-car or 2x 2-car formations. There was a significant amount of freight during the period that I'm modelling, particularly coal traffic, and these would have been hauled by Class 47s or 37s. There was also steel traffic from the now closed British Steel plant at Workington, which rather ironically for this modelling idea made continuous welded rail. And these would have almost certainly been in the hands of Class 37s. There is actually a good DVD that you could buy from J&K Video called West Coast Mainline Memories 1974 to 2007, and disc 1 covers the regional and sectorisation periods of British Rail. It does actually include a little look at a steel train going through Workington, so it's well worth having a check out of that DVD if you can get it. Parcels traffic was a little bit buoyant during the period, and one of the more unusual things with the parcels traffic occurred in late 1989. As we all know, the Class 26, although it started life down in the London area, they all ended up becoming Scottish locos, and they were called the Macrats, of course. The Class 26s did occasionally make forays into Carlisle, and it was the southernmost booked duty for the class by 1988 was a Wednesday only diagram they had. There was a daily parcels train from Carlisle to Preston, and on a Wednesday it was diagrammed for a Class 26 that had come in from a freight from the north. In late 1989 the diagram was changed that the duty took the Class 26 from Carlisle to Barrow instead, and it would have likely passed through Maryport station. So sticking a rail blue or rail freight large logo or rail freight coal liveried Class 26 hauling up 2 or 3 parcels vans would be just ideal for the modelling idea. In addition to that, other parcels trains were hauled by Class 47s, and this would have included the Workington to Preston travelling post office, which actually would have sometimes started at Carlisle, other times it would have run from Barrow to Workington and run round. There was nuclear flask traffic as well, and this would have probably came up the West Coast Main Line to Carlisle and to the main yard at Upperby before getting tripped down to Sellafield using a Class 31. By the late 1980s, this would have been the responsibility of the coal subsector of rail freight, and it would have been hauled by a 31 in that appropriate livery, and it would have most certainly had a brake wagon on the back, and these would have also carried the rail freight coal subsector logo. And should mention Vic Berries of Leicester painted the dedicated nuclear flask 31/1s into rail freight coal subsector livery, and they also done the painting of the brake wagons as well. For a short period towards the timetable change in July 1991, there were several rolling stock problems with some broken down DMUs, and this led to the unusual situation of either one or two car DMUs being hauled dead in tow and being pulled by a Class 26 or Class 31. Jonathan Cordell took some photos for Motive Power Monthly of some of these workings, and this include a Class 26 working all the way from Barrow to Newcastle via Whitehaven and Carlisle, and all of these trains using field Class 108 DMUs would have actually passed through Maryport. So another good modelling idea for you. To my knowledge, pacers weren't used on the Cumbrian coastline, but if anybody does know different, please put in the comments box below. There is also the planned use of Class 153 single car units on the Cumbrian coastline. I don't know if that actually did happen or not, but if anybody does happen to know, could you please let us know in the comments below. The Cumbrian coastline was not used as a diversion route for the West Coast Main Line. That would have been the Settle to Carlisle line instead. So you wouldn't see it in intercity trains passing through Maryport, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, folks. However, the Cumbrian coastline did occasionally see local hauled trains, particularly on the Network North West Day in October 1990, which resulted in a couple of very unusual workings. One last thing to mention to you about Maryport as well in general, it's not just with the train rolling stock, is that the main operator in the town then, as is now, was Stagecoach Cumberland. These would actually vehicles probably would have been carrying the Stagecoach stripes by this time, although a small handful were still in the old Cumberland CMS Motor Services red livery, but the majority would have been carrying the Stagecoach stripes by then. So if you can get vehicles with Stagecoach stripes, try and change the fleet name to the Cumberland. There you go, problem solved. So that's Maryport, a very good idea for a model railway layout for you. Next time we will definitely have a look at Stranraer. I need to do a little bit more research to see what's needed for a location that is very much changed nowadays, given the sad rundown of the seaport there with everything moving to Cairnryan. But I hope Maryport provides some inspiration for you, and if it's not to your liking, hopefully another location on the Cumbrian coastline is, and I hope this video has given you ideas. So in the meantime, please do take care of yourselves, won't you, and enjoy your layouts, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.